Podcast golf, bro.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2. 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew.
It's like 1:30 in the morning, and we're headed 550 miles approximately to the Pine Barrens.
Shooter McGavin, 2 thumbs that's up high and 2 fingers pointed at you, pew pew. Fairway to green, conk off that I'm playing. Sometimes these par 3 green look like an island, I'm playing.
Bryce, silence.
Sorry. Is this a moment of silence?
Yeah, no, like
Okay.
I have one of these. I'm trying to do like one of those ASMR openings. I don't know how to do it though.
Well, put it closer to the mic.
The
then.
packaging's so good. Packaging's great, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah. We I mean, like, I just wanted that to be a big part of the experience too. You know, when someone gets one of the candles and it arrives too, kind of make it, you know, more than just what's inside the box. Kind of make the box a bit of the experience and have a bit of a story on it and stuff too. And Andrew really wanted the pattern on the inside of the box too. So
Yeah.
that was his idea as well too. So yeah, so it matches their polo as well too. So
Andrew's such a creative dude, man. So creative.
love it,
Like the
yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
that he's
dude.
coming out with now. So depending on when we put this one out, they just did a fall hat
Yeah,
drop.
I saw that.
It'll either be a couple days in the past or a week in a couple days.
Gang, twirl, gang, twirl, gang, give me that driver, I let it bang, twirl, gang, give me that wedge, I'm taking that aim, twirl, gang, twirl, if you ain't twirling, hitter, you lame, you sick of the twirling, hitter, you gang.
Yeah, so we're with Alex from Fairway Candle Co. 10-ounce, 60-hour burn candle, premium soy, which I've learned premium soy that's big in the candle world. You're going to be able to tell us more about it, but premium soy is pretty good. So the packaging's great. I was just kind of like opening one up here. It's got a lot of cool photos on it. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can check this one out. So, and you can check them out at WEDGE. Of course, go and scroll down in the show notes. I'll put a direct link right to the page with the candle if you want to check it out. Early birdie, the sun is rising as you walk up the fairway with your friends. Best friends on either side. The birds are chirping, the vibes are immaculate, and you drain a 30-footer for birdie on the first tee. Life is good. That's so clean. Love that. So this one I got here is cedar and bergamot. Is that right?
Yep.
Bergamot?
Yep.
So an illuminating blend of bright bergamot, warm, musky saffron, and woody cedar heart notes. So I'm going to fire it up.
Have you smelt it yet?
What's that?
Have you smelt it yet?
I've
or-
smelt
yeah.
it. I've smelt it.
Yeah.
Oh, see this? I feel like people like that. Don't people love those things? This video is somehow going to get like 10 million views now. Maybe not. I have smelled it. And
Yeah, you
man,
gotta
it
get
smells
that
amazing.
right. You gotta get that right next to the mic when you're doing it for the ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to tap your
No
finger
lighting.
on it as
I'm
well,
saying when
so-
you light it, they can't hear you smelling it. I don't think, but
I think we could hear that. Maybe we'll put it right
can
on
you
the
hear?
side.
Can you hear it popping a little bit?
There we go. That's cool.
I'm pretty sure like the fresh wicks, don't they kind of pop a little bit at the start, or no? Am I?
We got to go.
Is that a
Oh, we
bad-
can
is
see
that a-
it.
Is that a low grade candle?
No, so if it when you do light a candle, you have to let it burn for a while first. But once the wick starts to get a little charred on it, that's when you notice it'll
The pot.
okay, yeah, kind of pop. So that's why you got to be careful too if you got
There we go.
clean up stuff around too. You got to make
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, I should probably make sure like I'm not going to set my
Look at the
That's
setup on that.
presentation. We
Look
got
at this.
going.
This is perfect. So like on my portion of the screen too, you like literally see
That's amazing.
this, which is great. Alex, tell us
looks
how
good.
do we get into this? How do we get into the candle world? Can you kind of tell us like maybe your background a little bit? How you obviously you've got a golf connection. Can you kind of bring us to the point of where you got started with Fairway Candle?
Totally. Yeah. So maybe I can start with a bit of my love for the game and just kind of how these intersected. But yeah, no, I've like golfed my entire life. This sport's been very, very special to me ever since I was a kid. My grandpa was a professional golfer. I never had a chance to meet him, but golfing has kind of always been a big part of my life, and seeing old photos of him growing up and my grandma she just turned 93, and she golfed up until like a couple years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, so like it's been a very very special part of my life for a long time. I played a lot of different sports, but golf was kind of always that thing that I went to if I needed a moment. I think just like being out there with friends and family, nature, everything, especially growing up on the West Coast, being able to play a lot of amazing golf out there.
So
Super
good
super
out there,
special.
man. So
Yeah.
good out there.
Have you played out there?
I've
You
been
played
out there. I've played. Bryce knows my story.
Well, he walked around for a bit out there.
It like we randomly got like a hailstorm in the middle of our round. It was a fun time. Good friend of mine's out at Bear Mountain, so got a couple buddies out there. One of them's a pro out there, so
No way.
went out there. Had something tentatively set up at Victoria. I was actually
Yeah.
talking with Mark Bryce about maybe going out at the end of the month. I can't swing it unfortunately, but have you played Bear Mountain?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I played it. I think maybe like a couple weeks after it opened back in 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's like always a spot that I try and get back to as well too, because
Yeah.
just like both sides. But I think like especially the mountain course, I like the holes have changed up a little bit, but I think it's number 15, that par three, just over on the top of the mountain, looking
Yeah.
over the
Yeah. Mac
city,
always posts
over the
that one.
ocean. Yeah,
Always
yeah,
posts
yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It
didn't mean to
was.
cut you off, man. Bear
Yeah,
Mountain's just a
no.
special. It's a special spot, man. So if you can be out
It
that way
is.
and play,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah,
they got Colwood out there too, Royal Colwood. I didn't play
yeah.
that one, but I've got some buddies who have played there. Said it was like so
It's a
pure, so
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So golfing on the West Coast is just like unbelievable. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's always been a really really important part of my life, and I think now that I'm a retired athlete, and my buddies have all have kids now, we're all young dads into golf. So we have the annual trips and the weekends and everything as well too. So that's yeah, like golf has always been a super important part of my life, and then I was so I was just like having like a nice cozy home, and like I've always loved candles. I always have one on my desk, and yeah, it was like a couple years ago. Yeah, I went on a trip to the UK with my wife and her family. My wife, her dad, and brother all ran the London Marathon, which was amazing. But then after that, I golf a lot with my father-in-law and brother-in-law. So we all of us took a trip to St. Andrews after the marathon, and had just like a really really amazing experience there. It was yeah, like words cannot describe how special that place is. And we were there, actually it would have been this time a couple years ago. It was like early October, and it was just like we experienced everything, every single climate there. It was raining, it was sunny, it was hail. We were standing 10 feet apart, but couldn't hear each other because the wind was blowing so loud. And we we all shot probably pretty high scores, but it didn't matter because we were just there and just had this like amazing experience together. So coming back from that trip, I just remember so many like specific things, the sights, the smells, the sounds
Mhm.
of the bagpipes, everything, that I'm like, there's something special there that like I want to kind of be able to capture in something that's more than just a picture hanging on my wall too. So yeah, like I was brainstorming of like what's something super unique that I personally haven't seen yet, and something that I know my wife my wife would buy for me, my mom, my sister, kind of anyone. And yeah, this idea for candles sparked up. Sorry for the pun, but yeah, it just seemed like an awesome thing that any golfer could connect with. And I think it would just also be an easy gift for someone looking for for their loved one who loves golf. And then also I want it to be just pleasant to look at, that it could be in the office, could be in the living room, kind of could be anywhere in the home, but was just like a really premium looking candle, and obviously premium smelling candle as well too. So yeah, that's kind of the origin story for it too. I think it was just super inspired by a trip to St. Andrews, and just wanted to find a way to kind of capture that experience. So now whenever I light the the first candle and the first scent that kind of came to mind was late autumn lynx, and that was kind of the first one that started the journey into starting the business.
So, did you have like any background with candles at all? Like, I know you said like you're a fan of them, you've had them in your office on the desk, whatever it is. But like,
Yeah.
did you just at that point decide, okay, like I'm gonna like dive in, figure out how they're made, you know?
Yeah.
Because one thing I've like read is they're hand poured.
Yep.
That kind of always sort of means something to Bryce and I. We're always speaking with people that are doing things by hand in this golf space. It seems like so. Can you give us like kind of an idea of like what that was like? Like how was it challenging,
Yeah.
kind of like learning about it, or was it
100%.
something you had like somebody in your family or something that you were able to get some info from?
Yeah, no, no. So, yeah, like again, I've like always been into candles, and I think like I just know what I like out of a candle scent. You know, I think that there's a lot of variety out there, and when everything kind of came up, my wife and I planned to pour every single candle ourselves. We then shortly thereafter found out that we were expecting our first child, so the business plan kind of shifted a little bit. We found a production partner in Toronto that we work with. It's a small business that creates amazing candles. So my wife and I focus on the branding, the marketing side of things too, and kind of lean into a local production partner to help us bring the candles to life as well. You know, we went to a few candle making classes, and like just like we're all in. We were like ready to you know, make everything, but then also seeing like how much equipment you need, how many, you know, like and obviously just like the amount of expertise and knowledge to like really blend those perfect scents together.
Yeah.
You know, to like make the candle that you're smelling right now. You know, there was an amazing partner in Toronto that we did like a lot of research, a lot of blind scent smelling nights to kind of zero in on, you know, a company and a partner that we liked, that had the right sense to kind of tick the boxes for me. And yeah, so we partnered with a local production partner, and then just focused on branding and just kind of the design of everything as well too, which I think is super important.
You guys
Well, I'm
can't.
glad you guys kind of went into the design aspect of it all too, because even though candles smell great, it's really nice to like look at an appealing candle. You know, like I
Yeah,
mean, the flame is appealing. Everyone in their own way loves fire, some more than others. But I think looking at just like a nice clean candle, like the actual holder that the wax is in, is nice to look at, and
yeah,
then you put along with the smell, it just makes it a more enjoyable experience. But I'm gonna say this before I forget. I love this for northern people. Like I'm in Michigan, you guys are in Canada, obviously, because it kind of really gives you that golf vibe when you're in the winter, and you can kind of get that itch going just by smelling those
I like that,
similar
Bryce.
smells you're
Yeah.
used to. Because like
Yeah.
you're stuck inside, and I am a candle person, but they're usually not in the summer. It's usually
yeah,
with starts like fall, winter, you start lighting more candles, and I'm sure that's with a lot of people, and you kind of forget what it smells like, you know, because there's snow on the ground, and the leaves are all falling, and it's kind of a different. You don't get that summery smell anymore. So, like the
that's
fresh
it.
cut grass and whatever it is, and
Yeah,
I think that's awesome that you can spark that up in the middle of winter and kind of get those feels back where it's like, oh yeah, summer's
yeah,
it's close, it's coming.
yeah,
So I think that's
100%.
awesome.
Yeah, just like absolutely, just like long. Yeah, like I think like it's not the case for everyone in North America, but like for you know for us up here, we kind of have like spring, summer, fall as our
Mhm.
golf season. So I think, you know, like being in my basement, I practice my putting right here. I'm able to light up a candle and kind of like think back to those, you know, those trips, or you
Yeah,
know, those moments in spring, summer with my buddies and family too, and just kind of longing and just getting excited for the golf season to
yeah, I
come
love
ahead.
it.
So yeah, man, you nailed it.
You guys did mention the smell, and these do smell amazing. You can't smell it through the mic, but again, I'll link everything in the show notes. Please do go check it out. Um, but Alex, like you were mentioning when you were kind of like at the old course, and you were like, you know, just kind of walking, like obviously you played Bear Mountain, we're talking about that, like just all the different smells that are like that course smells a lot different. Like I play in the water, but that course smells a lot different. Like kind of being out there smells a lot different with like salt water not too far away. Like there's just so many different smells kind of being like up in the mountains as well. Do you like sort of draw inspiration by different places where you've played to kind of like say, okay, like it kind of smelled like this to me, I'm going to try and recreate that in a candle?
Yeah, 100%. I think um, like the main thing for me and like the different scents that I launched. So part of my my first collection started with three candles. So we had April and Augusta, Twilight at Pebble, and Late Autumn Lynx. So I think just like drawing inspiration from either places I've played or places that I imagine what they would be like, and then places that are on bucket list golf trips or experiences for myself, but also know that there's probably a lot of other golfers that are in the same boat as myself. And then yeah, just even like circling back to what Bryce mentioned about the long winter days. I think for myself, like golf season for me starts in April. That's like the snow is melting, the Masters is just around the corner. The courses are starting to open, so like that's kind of how I um, r- rolled out with the three different candles. So we kind of have April and Augusta, and I just remember as a kid, turning on, watching Tiger, listening in. So I think like that for me, I knew was going to be one of the signature scents, and I just kind of imagine what it would be like to be walking at Augusta National, for
Mm-hmm.
those 4 days, early morning, dew on the ground, azaleas, the towering pines, that kind of whole thing. So I
Yeah.
think just trying to like capture, what an experience feels like in a candle, as opposed to like something physical you would see on a golf course. It's kind of more so like even just the little story on the side of the box for that one too. It's like, just like imagine what it would be like to be there in that moment too. So that's Augusta. And then for Twilight at Pebble, it definitely drew inspiration from growing up on the West Coast and playing by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Pebble and like the Monterey
Beachy
Peninsula.
vibes, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, like that like area has like always been a big like bucket list golf trip for myself, and hopefully get there one day soon. But I think just like having lots of experiences of, you know, playing twilight golf on the Pacific Ocean, and like the waves are crashing, you can hear the birds, you can smell it. It's just this like really, really amazing experience. So I think like that's kind of how I wanted to launch the first three, just kind of my like personal experience and what my golfing season looks like. I kind of have those like early spring rounds with dew on the ground. You kind of have those like late summer evening twilight rounds, and then those cold blustery fall rounds. And mine just happened to be inspired by the home of golf, and that was yeah. So that's the
Yeah,
first three.
I'm looking at that one right now. It's got the bridge on the old course on the back of it too. So
Yeah,
this one's got the early birdie with kind of like the,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that one's got like the first one. So I guess there was the three that you dropped originally. They were all at the
Yep,
same time. The late autumn links has got the bridge at
yep,
the old course. That's
yeah,
pretty cool. I like that a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So had a lot of fun with that, and like with the early birdie as well too. Like Andrew and I had a lot of fun, just like like dialing in the scent, dialing in like the branding, the look, the feel, the name, the story, everything too. And you have the hat on, the shirt on right now as well too. I think like they're all about like good experiences with your friends,
Yeah,
like what it's all about too. So I think just like trying to find, just like even connecting back to like some of my experiences of just like waking up at 4:30 to get the first tee time with my buddies, and you're walking up the first hole on a Saturday morning. And I think that like that's just the whole experience that we wanted to capture within that candle as well
Yeah.
too. So yeah.
so as you guys develop, like you mentioned, it was you and your wife are wanting to kind of create like this package so that we can see. So again, if you're listening to us in the car or whatever, Spotify, Apple, all those things, go over check it out on YouTube or over on Instagram, because like you can kind of see in my screen here, I have one set up. You and your wife want to like create all of these, right? Like each and every one you want to kind of have your own stamp on, like your own design. Is that something that you have like always wanted to do, like a background in, or was that sort of when you were, getting into the candle world, like with with Bryce and I here, neither one of us had like podcast experience, design experience or anything. It was kind of something that we just like dove into and kind of learned over the years. But is it something that you already had like a background in how to like create some, or like, just like the actual like the marketing of these types of things, or creating such a product that looks awesome, man. Like it looks great.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I think like I'm a creative person. I'm a full-time video producer, fully self-taught in that space as well too. So
Yeah.
like I was saying before, I played pro football for the Rough Riders for 3 years.
Did you?
I did, yeah, yeah.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
thanks, man. Yeah, so it was like an awesome experience to play pro sports, but then kind of always had this like creative side as well too, and so I think like just like being self-taught and kind of like learning design and like overall like layout and just like being like curious about many things, just being self-taught has been really helpful too. So I think just like knowing that I wanted to kind of create something special and different, but I also knew that it had to look good. I think I'm super particular with like how things are, like, especially when it comes to video production and editing and design and everything too, that I knew if I wanted to launch something into the world that it had to look exactly how I wanted it to. So I think just like, yeah, it took a while to get the designs all locked down, but yeah, really happy with kind of how it all finished.
I'm trying to think about your timeline there. I'm wondering if you know the name Brad Smart?
Brad Smart.
I think he was at Laurier. I used to work with him like years ago, but I think he'd probably be a little bit before. Yeah, he's definitely before you.
Okay. Brad Smart.
What position did you play?
I played receiver. Yeah. So yeah, I
cool.
played at Laurier for 2009 to 2012, and then was drafted by the Rough Riders in 2013. And lucky enough too, that was the Grey Cup year too. So my first year in the CFL was a home Grey Cup.
Really?
That's so cool. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, man. So it was very cool.
Was there any golf like when you were younger? Is it something that you kind of picked up later on?
Yeah. No, I like played longer than I played anything else. So like my good friend growing up, his family actually owned a golf course on the island that was like, probably a 5-minute drive from our kindergarten class. So we would go to school and then go to the range and then like spend summers there playing. I think sometimes we played like 54 in a day.
We've done that. Yeah,
kicking fingers after every single round. It was like a whole thing. But even playing the CFL too. We would be at meetings and practice and training kind of until 1 o'clock every day.
Golf course.
Yeah, there was a lot of buddies there that just were obsessed with golf, like myself as well too. Yeah, so yeah, played a lot of golf in the prairies too, which was awesome.
Well, we're seeing a lot of crossovers now. We're starting to see like some crossovers with Hamilton Tiger Cats. Mac was like at the stadium. Like I know that they were doing something. I think because it's Tim Hortons Stadium. I think they might have been doing something with Tim Hortons or whatever it may have been the CFL. TaylorMade, maybe a crossover, but I know. Our friend Barry at Copetown's always posting. Bo Levi Mitchell's always out there too. So like they've always and I know like Dutchie was always going out. Like rest in peace to the legend Dutchie. But it's he was kind of always out there at Copetown too as well, right? So it was cool to kind of see like the crossover starting to happen with like different sports. We've talked about it before with many different sports. I don't think we've really got into it about football, but that's cool. So we're talking the 101st Grey Cup champion I see here. That's wild, man. Congrats. Like
Thanks,
what was that experience for you? Like getting into the league? Like can we chat about football a little bit? Like getting into the league?
Like I haven't chatted about football in a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely down to chat. It's it was like such an amazing part of my life too. It seems like a lifetime ago because like so much has changed since then. But yeah, that like whole experience is just like unbelievable. I think just like leaving home at 18 to move across the country to play in Waterloo was super special. And then, you know, thinking I was just going to be out there for 4 years and then go back to BC. But then things started to pick up quite a bit, and then yeah, ended up being drafted in 2013. And you know, I grew up a Lions fan in
Nice.
BC. But then the receiver that I grew up watching, G. Roy Simon,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah, I know
know the
G.
name.
Roy
So
Simon. Yeah.
yeah, so I grew up watching him, idolizing him, and then it might have been like 2 weeks before the draft, he was traded to the Riders. So then I got to play my first
That's
year.
so cool.
Been a great couple with him. Yeah, so I think yeah, like that was yeah, really cool experience. So I think yeah, like the whole thing was just like unbelievable. Made like yeah, so many amazing friends and like awesome experiences out there too. And I think you know, if there's a place to play to play in Canada, you know, it's there.
It
They
looks
absolutely
wild
love,
there, man. Yeah, it
they
looks.
love the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy how quick life hits you going that route though, because I can really relate to you there. Because I left home at 16 to play hockey, and then met a girl out here, and now my wife, and now I'm out here. It's kind of
yeah.
similar situation to you,
Same
and
story. Yeah,
now with a baby and whatever. However
yeah.
many years later, mine's 10. I don't know about you, but it feels like I was here yesterday playing hockey, and it's just like,
Yeah.
well, where'd the time go? So
It's yeah, it's wild, man. Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
good.
I have like you know like all my closest friends are buddies from Laurier, and you know we're all kind of at that point where we have little kids, you know,
Yeah,
under two. So it's like yeah, like really special. But all of them are now getting into golf as well too, which is
cool.
even better. But yeah, no, I think that's yeah, Mac, like you were talking about that like crossover as well too, and I think like a lot of guys I think like to get into golf too because it's a you know it's a totally different challenge too. You know, I
Yeah.
think like being on the field and you know running as fast as you can, you know, getting tackled, make you know I think just like you're kind of putting your body through a lot to kind of have you know some peace on a golf course for you know four plus
Well,
hours and
then
just
you get to put
challenge
your
yourself
you
in a
get to put
totally
your
different
brain
way.
through it though, like when you go out to
Oh
the
yeah,
golf course.
no,
So
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, yeah, just because being like a natural athlete, the game, like I'm sure you as well, Bryce, the game kind of becomes like second nature almost, right? But like
Hmm.
out on the golf course, it's I don't know. No matter what, I feel like it's always just developing and just like it's beating us up in
Yeah,
some way or another. Maybe not as much physically, but it is definitely beating us up mentally. That's for sure. But
100%,
I
man.
love like seeing the crossovers and different like athletes going to play in different sports, and like obviously now like with you know last year Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey playing, like it's like
Hmm.
playing the match there, right? It's just like it's
Amazing.
huge now, right? Like it's golf is like become such a great sport, and I think it's like a lot of people have identified it's like a great opportunity to like get away from life stresses, whatever it is, for 4 hours and kind of like get out and play, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's definitely like I like to see that. And then we got people spinning off into like candles or like with Andrew with full wedge and stuff like that. It's kind of neat to see like it just develop. And Bryce and I have done 210 or so episodes now,
It's amazing.
which is really cool, just based on like having these types of conversations, right? Or with players that are kind of doing the same thing like you guys did with your professional journeys and stuff too, right? Which is really cool to like learn about everybody's different experiences and whatnot, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
I also got I'm gonna bring this up too. It's kind of like an idea or an opinion, but I'm gonna say it. And if you start getting some bulk orders, I want some commission. But anyways, this would be an awesome gift for like a groom getting married, kind of a groomsman gift. Because
yeah,
if you
yeah.
go on like a bachelor party and you're doing a golf trip for your bachelor party, which is very common, I know a lot of people do it.
Oh yeah.
You could buy one of these candles, bring it to the bachelor party, and kind of after the end, after you've played 36 or 18 or whatever, you can kind of light it in your Airbnb or wherever you guys are, and kind of when you guys are hanging out like throughout the night, you can have it burning. Gift all your groomsmen one of these candles, and that can just strike, like you said, so many memories of that weekend or that
That
wedding.
moment.
I think that would be such a cool idea, and
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
just
I
something
like
like that. I think this product can just shine. I think people would love it.
that's a great idea. I mean, I have like a long list of like scents and like other
Yeah.
things, but I
Cool.
I don't have that one, but I think you know, kind of one tailored specifically to that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I
like I
mean,
don't know if we want the smell of like the guys when
No,
they
like
get like I don't want
I
to
just
put that,
more
that into the candle, the 36 hole smell, just squeeze that
I
into a
just more
candle. But
mean like
yeah,
the golf scent, like when they're
this
kind
could
of
get
hitting
rid
the
of, hey, this could get rid of that smell though in the
yeah,
back
but
in the,
honest, but just the
yeah,
golf scent, like the golf candle scent, like even when
yeah,
you're scenting now, if you have it burning in the room when you guys are drinking beers and hanging out, like, and then you smell it again, whatever, 2 months later, and, and it kind of
yeah,
reminds you of that night, and you're kind of like, oh yeah,
yeah,
like remember how much fun we had
100%.
that night. Like that's kind of the idea I was getting at,
yeah.
but
No, I
you
like
know,
that. We got a 60-hour burn time, but no, that's a great. It is a great idea, Bryce. Alex, do you have a lavender one in the works? Do you have an iteration coming with some lavender in there at some point?
So there is lavender in the Augusta one.
Okay,
So
all right,
hints of lavender,
all
hints
right.
of lavender in there. Yeah,
Might have to
yeah,
come find that one, yeah, because that's been my thing. Like I don't know, always going to like soaps and stuff with lavender in it. That's kind of like beard oils and stuff. Found that, and that's kind of been
calming,
my
right?
scent, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that.
can you hint towards any future scents that you got coming out, or are you kind of trying to keep that on the DL right now?
And keep it on the DL right now, but
Okay.
yeah, definitely have like lots. I think like I have like long list of different places that I want to highlight as well too.
Okay.
I think like
Yeah,
yeah, like it was even like really it was actually quite tough to kind of narrow into these, you know, into my first three, and then I obviously had the collab with Full Wedge as well too. But you know, once I just started kind of like brainstorming different places of that I could highlight, there was just a laundry list of amazing
Hmm.
courses and amazing places around the world too. So, yeah, definitely have more in the works for sure too.
So,
Awesome.
Alex, if by chance we get any brands or anything listening that are kind of interested in this type of collaboration, like we've had like custom putter builders, like guys who break apart skateboards and like make like divot tools, and like it's just there's like so many layers of some of the people that we
Oh yeah,
spoke to that you know might be kind of cool. They might be into it. You never know. Like the conversations that we have, you just never know where they go. That's why when I reached out to you, I was like, Bryce and I have never done this. We've never like talked about a candle. We've never learned about a candle, the process of
yeah,
making a candle. Furthering that like idea, can you give us an idea how you got sort of connected with Andrew, like in this one specifically with Full Wedge? Hopefully I'm like
oh
zooming
yeah.
in
You
on the
popped
camera.
out of focus
I'm
there for a little
trying
bit.
Yeah,
to
you're
I'm
getting a
trying to
little
get the
blurry,
camera
but
to zoom in on the candle, but I think it's trying to, but
it's getting your laptop
yeah, it's
there. If
getting
you
the
want to
corner of the
just pop
laptop.
that,
I'll
can you
clean it up,
pop that
bud.
out of the screen?
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
it's okay now. It's okay
Okay,
now,
that's good.
but can you give us an idea of like how when you like kind of get an idea to collab with a brand, in this case Full Wedge,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
long did it take? Like what was the process like for you and Andrew to get you know, this candle to like into his hands, essentially, like then
Yeah.
into my hands, right? So
Totally, yeah, yeah. So I did the initial soft launch of the brand last fall. So I like started with a run of 72 candles, just to kind of like put out to my social channels to like see just kind of gauge, is there actual interest in this, because I think it's a great product. I would buy it for myself, but does anyone else think it is? And we sold out the 72 candles in just under 2 days.
wow.
It was, yeah,
Nice.
so it was like very exciting. You know, kind of people obviously, you know, it started close with, you know, friends and family wanting to support, but then all of a sudden there's orders in California, New York, and all over
Cool.
Canada and the States. So it was like very cool to see. I'm like, okay, like there's like definitely something here. So yeah, I was posting on my uh, socials, you know, photos and videos of everything. And I think someone had sent Andrew the candle, the candle post I did, and said, yeah, like this is amazing. Like you have to chat with Alex. So yeah, Andrew just messaged me on Instagram, and we just kind of hopped on a phone call and just started chatting too, just about what a partnership could look like for a collab. It's, you know, it started with just the candle, and then kind of evolved into, let's design something as well too for you know, hoodie, shirt, hat, ball marker, kind of the whole thing. So there was no major timeline for us. I think like we were just having some fun with designs and kind of testing out different scents and everything as well too. So thinking back to the actual timeline, I think it would have been we kind of locked in the designs of everything. I think it would have been April or May, and then
Okay.
production started too, kind of for the candles and then the merch as well too. So there was kind of everything was ready. Candles were ready for the first for the full wedge summer classic back in July. So that's where um, Andrew started to sell those at the tournament, and then we went live shortly after with the merch and everything as well too that you see on the site now. So
Yeah, I
I
was
think it's
just
just
kind
like
of looking through some of it.
fun
Yeah.
collab. Yeah.
Well, and like any of the full wedge gear, like it looks great. So like that like quote that I read to kind of start off the pod, that's like on the back of the sweater. It's got an image. Like again, the links in the show notes below. It'll bring you right there. Go check it out. But it's got yeah, just like a nice like graphic on the back of the sweater. Andrew always does it good with full wedge. Did you have like a part in that, like with the merch? Had you ever like done any merch like for Fairway at all, like Fairway Candle at all, or was that
No,
kind of
no, it's
your first attempt? Yeah.
yeah. So like had like designed other things for other, kind of like fun like projects, but never anything to that scale as well too. So like my focus was the candles, but then worked with a friend to design the actual illustration on the back of the sweater as well too, the back of the sweater and shirt, just kind of tie that kind of like timeless vibe of Fairway with the kind of fun and like fun experience and brand of uh, full wedge as well too. So yeah, no, just Andrew kind of gave us like full flexibility to kind of like create something that felt right to kind of bring them both together. So it was it was like Andrew was awesome to work with. We had a ton of fun making the candle and the merch, and yeah, it was just awesome experience.
Well, too, and if you're a brand by chance, like reach out to Alex, of course, if you want to kind of like look at a collab. Like again, your information will be in our show notes below too, so anybody can just click and go like directly to your page. Reach out, send a DM. Like even if you want to like learn more about it, if we missed something that somebody might have wanted to talk about, or that might know something more than Bryce and I kind of like knew about, or we might have missed or something. But also too, like if you're a brand who wants to sort of maybe try the same thing, like if you're interested in the idea of like collabing with a bigger brand like Full Wedge to help bring like whatever your product is, like it sounds like it was pretty easy. It's pretty easy to work with Andrew. I've recently started those conversations too, and you were just kind of like, I don't know, does anybody want to wear like a Screws podcast hat, Bryce? Like we don't know. We've done a little bit of it before, but like Andrew kind of has such a good way of like making those ideas come to life, right? And we're seeing it here, man. And this looks great. Like it's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's definitely not something we've seen, but like you said, you've got orders like New York, California. That must be like such a great feeling when you've sort of created your own thing, and it's still like you said, it's still a new brand. So,
Yeah.
happy to see it's doing so well, and looking forward to seeing more, man. Would love to have you back. We can chat some more football sometime, and when you get a couple more pieces in the collection, do you think you'll ever kind of branch out of the candle space and try and like bring something else into it, or is there like, when I think of candles, I think of like soaps and stuff like that. Will you ever like kind of dive into anything like that to bring other pieces into the fairway
I think
collection?
so. Yeah. I think like there's obviously candles, but then there's oil um,
Mhm.
diffusers,
Yeah.
room sprays that I think like there is quite a few. But yeah, I think just like kind of focusing in on one thing and learning as much as I can about candles. How to make them, how to sell them, how to design a nice looking candle as well too. Has been like an awesome experience, and I think like same with you guys, kind of like starting a podcast, not really knowing anything about it. I think there's just something really fun just about being curious about something, and just like diving all in and just learning as much as you can, just sharing with the world. So it's been super fun, and yeah. Thank you so much for having me on here, guys. Appreciate it. And then last thing as well too, if anyone listening wants to pick up a candle as well too, I have a discount code for the listeners too. So
Nice.
OTS 15.
Perfect.
15% off. Yeah.
I'll put that down in the show notes below too. And if you want a little bit of humor, 'cause we all like a little bit of humor, Go watch the Office dinner party episode. It's one of the best episodes of The Office. Everybody loves it. And they feature like Serenity by Jan, which is a candle company. You guys ever watch The Office? Oh my God. So we're seeing like a successful avenue of the candle company or a brand coming to life, because that episode is so cringy, but it's funny.
Plasma TV.
Oh, it's the Dundee through the plasma TV. It's just such a great cringy episode. It's really hard to watch, but it's my favorite show of all time. I absolutely love it. So go watch that and then go buy a candle. Use the code too. Use the code. Why not? And we've also got one at if you're interested in like this one too, we've also got the one at Full Wedge. You can go check out too. But Alex, this was great, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bryce, thank you guys. Appreciate it. That was awesome chatting, and obviously chatting candles, golf, football, kind of everything. Yeah, no, it's a pleasure.
Let's do it again, man.
Is out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross, worst case scenario.